and welcome to your messages for the week. Today is Sunday, the 10th of April 2022. So let's see what messages there are coming for us this week. Oh, they wanted to come out, didn't they? I put a link in the description if you want to book a private session with me. And also, I just wanted to let you know about my next online course. I'm thinking of making it at the weekend because I've had a couple of people approach me asking from across the pond, some of my friends and colleagues in America, and of course the timings aren't always good for them. So I'm very happy to do the next course at the weekend at some stage, at some time. So if you are interested in doing my online course in healing yourself, I'll put a link in the description to the website about that, so you can look at the details and read the testimonials from previous participants. And if it is something that resonates with you, and you haven't been able to make the usual 7 p.m. in Spain time slots during the week, then please get in touch and let me know if the weekend suits you and what day of the weekend, and etc. etc. So hopefully I'll be able to get a group together to do a weekend course. Of course, it doesn't just apply to those across the pond. That could also apply to people in Europe and anywhere else. So get in touch if it's something you've been wanting to do, but the timing wasn't right, because I can change that. Right, let's have a look, because these cards spell out and clearly want to be read. So the other thing I want to say very quickly is, if you're watching this on social media, on Facebook or wherever, obviously you're watching on YouTube, but I mean, if you found me on Facebook or Telegram or what have you, then please subscribe to the channel, because I don't always share my videos on social media, and I do midweek messages as well. And I've also got Lessons in Awakening, which I added to recently. And I've also started the Self-Mastery with Liz Nagel series as well, all on my YouTube channel. So have a good browse around the YouTube channel and have a look and see if anything else resonates with you. And subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any further videos. Right, let's have a look. They're all face down at the moment. I just need to turn them all over. Wow, this is so interesting, because there's 5 cards and the first 4 are major arcana. I always get excited when that happens, because it means that something really powerful is going on. And yes, let's start off with the Fool. New avenues of self-expression, I want to say, new adventures. If we look at what we're building on, some of the videos and the messages that have come through recently, there's ones about collaborating with others. That's big at the moment, as we create communities and start creating the new earth and heaven on earth, and however you want to word it. So there are new avenues and new ventures, I want to say. There's new ventures, spiritually guided. A lot of people are now like, it's now or never to live my dream. Rightly so. A lot of people are thinking it's now or never, and a lot of other people are also thinking they don't really know where they're going, but they're being inspired along the way and they're enjoying the journey. And that's exactly what he's doing, enjoying the journey. And there are leaps of faith to be had, but hey, we know that our future lies in our frequency. So we're not going to worry about the fact that we have downsized. Look, he's only got a little bit with him, but there's his fruition, because where he goes, his frequency goes. Where he goes, his knowledge, his experience, his ideas, his inspiration, his love, I want to say, goes with him. And it's all of those things that are creating your reality. So it's beautiful. So he's happy, he's got, a song in his heart, and he's got like a skip in his step and everything. There's his faithful companion. Okay, little reminder there to love animals. I always think that animals are a gift from consciousness to help us learn love and compassion, and to help us express love and compassion. I really want to say this at this time, that animals provide us with that, because there is only you creating your reality, and your reality is created by how you interact with everything and everyone around you. How you interact, your behavior, your thoughts about that, about everything around you, and the emotions that you attach to the thoughts about everything around you. So if you come across animals and you don't think of them as sentient beings, and you think of them as something you can abuse or what have you, then that frequency is going to be in your reality. Do you see what I'm saying? Whereas animals give us that perfect opportunity to love them and to express compassion. And they basically teach us that back. Well, of course they do, because once we've tapped into our divine love and our divine compassion for everything and everyone, remember, then that will get reflected back, because that's how it works, right? So there's a little sideline there on animals, giving us that opportunity. They are the perfect opportunity, aren't they, for us to exercise, practice, and express our divine love, the divine love that we are, that we innately are. And animals are always around to give us that opportunity. So yes, and practice it, because it's like, you practice that divine love, you feel it inside of you, and then it comes back to you, doesn't it? So that's how you can shift. I mean, it's so many different ways that you can shift your reality, shift your timeline, shift however you want to word it, change your life. Heal, whatever word you want to use it, ascend, enlighten, I don't know. But anyway, whatever it is, we have the chance to do something new. And this one is following on from the previous video about the one about self-realization is the key to moving forward. So I'll put a link in to that was last week's one, but if you haven't seen it, I'll put a link in the description and the video in the end screen, because this is the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about karma. I was talking about birth charts, talking about the soul readings that I do, finding out more about who you are and what you came here to do, and just to express who you really are. And when I say to express who you really are, I really want to make an important point here. That's not to express, your ego, or to express your limiting beliefs. I mean, obviously we want to identify them, don't get me wrong, and we don't want to judge either. So, bear with me on this one. But when I say be yourself, some people could be like, oh, no, I just thought of what I thought, and I don't care what she thinks, and that kind of attitude. That's coming from a hurt place. That's coming from what Eckhart Tolle would call the pain body, that kind of defensive reaction, and that kind of the not caring what other people think as a kind of as a defense mechanism, as opposed to a detached, as opposed to having learn to detach yourself from things. There's a different way of looking at things, so be careful that when I say expressing who you really are, that doesn't always mean that if you're stubborn then being proud of it, or if you're really independent then being proud. No. When I say expressing who you really are, I mean expressing who your soul is, who you are at soul level, not expressing the hurt and the anger and the bitterness and the wall around your heart. I'm not saying don't express that. Let's get this clear. What I mean is, we're not denying that, of course. We're acknowledging it, we're identifying it. And if you do feel like you have those trapped emotions, and that defense, if you do feel defensive, if you do feel triggered, and if you do feel like you have to prove yourself, if you do feel like, that you're better or worse or something than someone on the outside of you, any of that is all part of the trapped emotions and limiting beliefs. That's all part of the ego. That's all part of the stories that we've been programmed with and that we've told ourselves. And that is what we're healing. That is what we're here to heal. So I'm not saying don't express it, but I'm saying understand what it is, and work through it, because that is the density that we're talking about. So when I say expressing who you really are, I mean your soul. What did your soul come here to do? It came here to be soothed by the sea, probably. Did it come here to dance? Did it come here to spend more time in nature? Did your soul come here to talk and to write? Do you enjoy writing? Did you come here to serve others? Do you feel a sense of satisfaction when you've helped others, when you've expressed compassion? Or do you feel really soothed when you you know, do handicrafts or create, or maybe you're painting, and that really makes you feel connected to your higher self? Do you feel most connected when you're offering advice, or when you're holding space for somebody, or when you're learning some healing modality? You know, there's so many different ways that we can express who we really are. And that's what I mean, at soul level. At soul level, express who you are. And you know, usually we know what that is, because it's what we enjoy and what we're good at. But sometimes it gets buried under that pain body I was talking about, under that defensiveness, that heart wall, or, you know, those trapped emotions and those limiting beliefs and that programming. Sometimes our own desires, we don't even know what they are, because we've been so programmed, and it hasn't been nurtured within us. Our creativity, our divine creativity, hasn't been nurtured within us. So it is important to go hand in hand with this, to experience the healing, where you can release your trapped emotions, identify and release your limiting beliefs and that pain body. That's, you know, stepping into that vulnerability, stepping into that willingness, all of which I've talked about on videos on my YouTube channel. So have a look. But also about doing what you enjoy, doing what you're good at, and doing what the creativity, letting your creativity flow through you, I want to say. So that's a really important. There's kind of like two ways of looking at it: clearing the density and raising the frequency as well. That way you're going to obviously raise your frequency much quicker. The next card is the High Priestess. She's the most psychic in the deck, and she's the most intuitive. And it is so important to raise our intuition at this time. I will put a link in as well to the video I did on heightening your intuition, because it's so important. And that's what she's all about. She's well read, and her fears are tethered at her feet. You see, the moon is symbolic of fears, and she has them all under control. And there's her harvest and abundance. And I look at this as the duality. She's completely risen above the duality. She's not looking at things as good or bad. She's not judging things as good or bad. She's risen above all of that, and she's basically enjoying her intuition. She's just following her own guidance. She doesn't need to be governed by anybody else, and she's enjoying expressing herself in whichever way her intuition guides her. So yes, very, very powerful. So these cards are really, really powerful at the moment. So and the next one is the Hermit. And he's following his energy, spending lots of time on his own. Solitude is really important. Time on your own to understand why you're feeling the way you feel, to release those emotions. Loads of support in my Lessons in Awakening and my self-healing series, okay, on my channel. Stuff that you can work with on your own, you know, if you need help. There's lots of free content. So please take a look if this is resonating with you, and there's stuff there that you want to work on. And it's the inner work that we call it, you know, or the home inner work, the homework, the home inner work. But he is about solitude, tapping into his own wisdom, like, you know, because he's very intuitive. So he's tapping into his own wisdom, and he's following his light. He's not following the crowd, because they're lost. Don't follow the crowd. Because they're completely lost. But this is following your own energy. Where does your energy want to take you? What do you fancy doing? Oh, I fancy doing this today. Or, you know, I've got this idea. Well, let's talk about it. Oh yeah, now it's getting bigger, the idea, the inspiration's getting bigger. And I don't know how I'm going to do it. Well, that's okay, because you wake up the next morning and I have this great idea. I'm going to do it this way. That's how it works. You don't have any expectations. You don't have to plan that much. You know, you just have to go with that inspiration, like he has. He doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't know what's happening next, but it doesn't matter, because, you know, every time you go to sleep, you have an opportunity to get some more inspiration. I say that because those times when you fall asleep and the times when you wake up, when your brain waves are in that theta stage, that's the lovely, lovely, what I call like the yummy stage, where all the inspiration comes in, all the divine guidance comes in. So always have a notebook by your bed and make notes of anything that comes to you when you fall asleep. That's a bit difficult if you're actually falling asleep, but more likely when you're waking up in the morning, any good ideas that come. I often think to myself, I'm going to remember them, but I often don't. So notepad by the bed is a must. And those ideas are, where are they coming from? Think about it. You're just waking up. So they're obviously coming from within you, aren't they? And so they're the ones that we need to act upon. And so he's a reminder that the best ideas come when you're on your own. The best ideas, although you might be waking up next to somebody, I mean, I'm not, you know what I mean? But yeah, the point being, the best ideas are coming from within you. And they're the ones to act upon. That's what he's saying. And you don't need to know all the answers. You can just go step by step. And then I don't know how the next thing's going to happen, but that's okay, because I'm just going to enjoy myself, and I'm going to just share with my tribe and show love and compassion to the animals around me. And sing and dance and do all the things that I love, and be creative in whatever I enjoy. And then whoever I meet or whatever I'm doing, there's going to be, there's another great idea. And that's how it's going to work. That's how it's going to work. So that is brilliant. So those 4 cards are really powerful. And the last one is actually the 5 of Swords. But this is mental conflict. But he's coming up at the end. I don't think he's saying you're going to experience mental conflict having followed all of this. I think what he's saying is follow all of this. This is the mental conflict going on, like in the collective, or, you know, people telling you to do things a different way, you know. And look, he's really confident. He hasn't got any conflict. The conflict's over here. And swords are your thoughts, your inspirations, and your ideas. And he's taken his and he's walking away with them. He's like, you do it over there, I'm doing it my way. He's taking his inspiration, he's taking his ideas, he's taking his beliefs. I don't believe what you believe in. He's walking away from the crowd. That's what he's doing. These could be, I don't know, his parents, his family, or schooling, or colleagues, or, you know, ex-partners, or whatever, you know, that he's just like, nope, these are my beliefs, these are my thoughts, these are my inspirations. I'm going here. He's holding them and taking them. So that's what I'm getting from this card today, because although traditionally it is about mental conflict, but I think it's just about him not agreeing with them. That's how I'm looking at it. But he's holding his swords. He's got his swords. He's happy with his swords, which means he's happy with his thoughts, his beliefs, his ideas, and his inspiration. It's his inspiration. It's come from his intuition. It's come from his meditation, his solitude, his inner wisdom. Okay, and he's doing what he wants and what makes him feel good and what nurtures his soul and what he came here to do. And it is a beautiful new journey for him and for all of his tribe and for all of us that get together, take our ideas, take our beliefs, take our inspiration, and create heaven on earth. Oh my God, made myself emotional again. Because that's the message and that's what we're doing. Look how powerful these cards are. It's literally summarizing everything that we've said over the last few weeks. So wow. And we're only on the 10th of April, and it's it's a fantastic, powerful month. I'll put a link into the passionate messages for the month of April for you as well. So it's literally new ventures, collaborating with others, understanding who you are at soul level, whether you do that by just following your joy or by getting a soul reading or a birth chart reading or whatever you do, you know, tapping into your intuition. That's the most important thing. Plenty of time on your own, following the inspiration that comes in those moments. You know, it could be during yoga, it could be during your walks in nature. You know when it is. You know when you're most connected to your higher self. You know when you're most connected to your higher self. Don't ignore the messages that come in when you are most connected to your higher self. He's not ignoring them. He's taking those messages. That's what swords are. And he's acting on them, even though these people don't understand him, even though these people are doing something completely different. He knows, like he knows, that by doing what he loves, he will find people on his path to collaborate with. He will find his tribe on his path. He knows that if he doesn't take this journey, he knows that he is going to go stale, and he's going to be sick and tired, and he's never going to know what could have happened if he'd followed his heart. Okay, so the cost of not following your heart is spending the rest of your life wishing you had. And they know it, and you know it. So so exciting, isn't it? Have a fantastic week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.